Okay, welcome back to Retropical podcast. This is Shannon and this is Leonard, and we've already talked about the whole debacle of Disney and how we're scared of Disney and 2D, 3D animation movies.
It's always that fear of Disney.
Yeah,
That's your right.
now we're moving on to our next segment, which is still in the same realm as 2D Disney animated styles, but we're now focusing more on video games. So take it away, Leonard.
Yeah. So my topic is not particularly very long, but it is for me personally. I found quite interesting. So,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of video games specifically, like let's talk about like Harvest Moon, right?
Right.
You had some adverse reaction against like the 3D DS Harvest Moon games.
Yeah, well, I guess you can say that. Yes, I was like ew about it, but yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, but like, how about? But I have like a question for you. Like, what about just games in general? Like, what about 3D games in general? Do you have like weird, uh, like,
Um,
like you don't really like it, or are you fine with it?
yeah, I think because I grew up also like we talked about this before. Like I grew up with 2D kind of always in my face, 2D movies, 2D games, 2D everything back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, the games that I've played that are 3D is very limited. Like you can probably count it with your fingers. And the most 3D game that I would even remember the most would be Minecraft.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I would say that I don't really like 3D games either. Let's just put it that way. In general, if it's 3D, my interest for it drops at least by 40%. No, it's not even a joke. It's true. I'm that fake.
Okay. 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 So in that case, I want to present you the like. So I sent you some links or some names of like
Yep, yep,
video games, right? So I
yep.
sent you some
And I
links.
mhm.
Now, the first ones are the one that I mentioned was Octopath Traveller,
Yep,
and then there's Guilty Gear,
yep,
and there's also Grandblue Fantasy,
yep,
the versus.
yep, yep.
Now, when it comes to Guilty Gear and Granblue, do you think those games are 3D or 2D?
See, I watched right the videos
Uh,
of people playing.
yeah,
I
because
saw
I
the
sent yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw the trailers and stuff. Um, I want to argue that they are actually more to 3D,
Yeah.
but Grand Blue is closest to the 2D fighting game genre.
Okay. So technically speaking, they're both fully 3D.
Oh shit. Okay.
So both Granblue and Guilty Gear
Yes.
uh, are completely 3D. Like, as in, if you were to, because the thing is that they're side by side, right? The characters are side by side.
Yeah, it's like side scrolling, right?
Yeah, side scrolling. But if you were to flip that, like, that viewpoint to, let's say, the back of the characters, they'll be in
Yes.
3D.
Yes. So I think that's what I meant by like Guilty Gear. I would argue that it's 3D, even though there's a bit 2D. But that's basically the same point. That's the reason why I said it's 3D. It's because of what you said. Like the way they turn when I saw the videos, like
Uh
you
huh.
could see the depth of their like dimension.
Yeah. And that's not just their characters. That's also applying a little bit to the map, if I'm mistaken.
Oh,
So
okay. The maps
the,
both are 3D.
they're all
Both are
3D.
3D. Yeah.
They both are all 3D. Both Granblue
Yep.
and Guilty Gear are all 3D. Like, there's no
Yep.
2D component to them whatsoever, as far as I know.
So So what do you mean by 2D though? Because like for me, what I see 3D is like the depth, right? And in my
Yeah. So,
definition,
and for 2D in your animation, sorry, for 3D, your
mhm.
definition of 3D means like there's no depth. Sorry,
No,
there's a
for
depth. There's like
there's a depth, but there are two types of depth. There is the dimensional depth, as in
uh
there's
huh,
like you see a cube instead of a square, for example,
uh huh.
and there's also the coloring shading depth.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this one, here's the funny thing about these two games in particular. I'm gonna go to Octopath Traveler later.
Yes.
But for Granblue Fantasy and Guilty Gear, they're fully 3D, and the shading is what makes them 2D.
Ah, you see, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I hit it on the dart, even though I don't even fucking know what it means.
So the little shadows, the little weird shadows that you see on the characters,
Yes.
they're not actually there. And from what I understood, the lighting on the characters, like if you see the way the lighting works on the character, they're not, they don't follow the map's lighting, if that makes any sense.
Right. So they're like, yeah, like I said, like they looked very flat, right? Like not very flat, but their coloring was not 3D color. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not like because like 3D characters have basically a live tracking of the light that comes onto them, right? So they create their own
Yes.
shadows, and based on their position, the shadows and the lighting on them changes, right?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
this is where both games seems a little weird. Like I'm talking about Guilty Gear and Granblue. What they did was basically they put artificial light on top of the characters, and
I
that lighting doesn't
see.
change no matter where they are. That's why they always look 2D no matter what.
2D.
And the characters like they're what do you call it? And no matter where they are, like either left
Yeah.
or right, their lighting doesn't change.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, like okay, but in your perspective though,
Mm-hmm.
would you agree that Guilty Gear had more of a 3D kind of style than Granblue had?
This is because the thing is that both games, Guilty Gear and Granblue, they're developed by the same
Yeah,
team,
they're the same company, right? Yep,
the
yep.
same company.
Mhm.
Arc, I think it's like Arcwork or something. That's what they call it.
Arc System Works?
Arc System Works. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you mentioned the fact that like Guilty Gear looks more 3D than Granblue.
Yes.
Well, that's mostly because Guilty Gear came first. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is literally their first dip into trying to make the 3D engine, essentially, like the 3D engine looking 2D.
Oh,
This was
okay.
this was literally their first time doing this. They were like, okay, we want, because the thing is that for context, right? In terms of the Guilty Gear series, Guilty Gear used to be a 2D game, 2D side-scrolling fighting game.
Right, yeah, I saw the evolution actually.
Yeah, like
I saw the
purely
evolution.
2D.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Guilty Gear was like, what do you call it? Like the 3D one at least was like released a long time ago, like quite a while ago.
Right. Yep.
If I'm mistaken, right? Like because I think the first one was released in like 2014, 2012. Like I'm talking about the 3D one, but the 2D one was like so
It was like
long
90s.
ago.
The 90s,
Yeah, like
I think.
90s or something.
Yeah.
So this was a long time coming, and if I'm not mistaken, there was like basically very like multiple stories where Arc System Works was basically saying this was our flagship game, Guilty Gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is our flagship game, and we wanted to. We didn't just want to remake the game in 2D. Because they're like, all the Japanese developers are doing this, so like, that's not gonna make our game any special.
Okay.
So they decided, okay, then let's just fucking make it in 3D or something and put it
right,
and try to animate light, like color all the freaking characters to look like 2D. And this was like, and the thing is that saying that right now, like if you say it right now, that doesn't sound difficult, right?
Yes.
Because like making 2D into 3D looks difficult, but making 3D into 2D is like should be pretty easy, right? Like all you do is just put it back and forth. But then if you look at a lot of like anime games that's like 3D.
Yes.
Right? Let's look at like what call it Sword Art Online, for example.
Yep.
And you look at the game that they had, like the Sword Art Online game.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to compare the 3D like look compared to something like Guilty Gear or Granblue. It's like night and day.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say like Virtua Fighter?
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. That was like the first, like the grandfather of 3D fighting games,
that's
right?
yeah, like, but that's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
even comparing the age, even when we like take account to age,
Yes.
like that type of 3D fighting game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can tell from the lighting and everything just kind of looks weird.
Yes.
Like they definitely don't look 2D.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like I said, if you were to make it the spectrum, like really 3D would be like Virtua Fighter and Tekken, for
yeah,
example.
yeah.
And then this one is like somewhere in between, like Guilty Gear and Granblue.
And you said you watched the video as well, right?
Yes.
You watched the video, and did you notice how weird the character kind of moved?
For which one? Guilty Gear or Granblue or both?
Both games.
What do you mean by weird? Like, is it like because it's clunky or
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it?
Like I'm talking about like I'm not like especially during the animations.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the animations, they kind of look almost how you say like they had this weird 2D animated like animation.
Oh yeah. I think I get what you mean. Like there's some points where it looks very flat, and then
Yeah,
like
it
it
looks
doesn't look.
weirdly flat in terms of their like animation, their
Yeah.
movements and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Because originally I thought it was actually 2D, right? Like I said, like I thought it was 2D. But going back to what you mean, like by it's all
Mhm.
3D. What do you mean by it's all 3D? You mean like they use literally just 3D system? Is that it? Is
Yeah,
what you're saying?
everything that you're seeing on that, on like the video and on the screen itself, all that has like 3D aspect to them. So they have height, width,
Whoa, sorry, my thunder is
and like
crazy.
yeah, that's a pretty loud sound. But yeah, like everything you see is 3D, as in like they have like a solid 3D structure.
So can I say that like it's all 3D, but in terms of the lighting and coloring, that's where the 2D comes out?
Yeah, that's where the 2D comes out, and it was super
Oh.
hard for this thing to do. Because when I saw this thing, right, when I saw, because I'm not into fighting games personally,
Yep.
right, but whenever I want to look at like a good looking fighting game, I always think to this one, or just a
Mm,
good looking game in general. Like if I just wish one day like where like because there's a lot of Japanese anime 3D games, right, like quite a bit of
yep,
them. If they
yep.
can even like do half of the shit Arc System Works does, it'll be fucking like insane.
I think it looked very beautiful, see.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like what they did here. Even if
Yeah,
it's just like a side-scrolling 3D game, I think it'll be freaking insanely good.
I agree. Like, when I first saw Guilty Gear, like I'm not even like like you, I don't really play fighting games.
Uh-huh.
But when I saw Guilty Gear, I was like, whoa, this is actually it looks really good, you know?
Yeah, it looks freaking amazing. Just looking at the characters like move or like pose or shit like that.
The music is
The,
even more
the
amazing.
music is also really fucking good. Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, I can see why this is. I definitely agree when you said that if somehow Japanese games, in terms of even like animation games or like anime games, becomes like they use the same system as Guilty Gear and Granblue, it would be like phenomenal evolution.
Yeah, it's like a freaking. It'll basically change how people will see like those type of anime games essentially. Because
True,
I'll
but then
because the thing is that I will be the first one to say because like I personally don't like anime 3D games in particular.
oh, what do you mean by anime 3D games?
So so things like Sword Art Online or things like Hyper Neptunia, if you know that game.
No, can I say that Dragon Nest is one of them?
Oh, Dragon Nest, yeah, something like that as well.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I get what you mean now. It's like a
Because
very open world, but like they just look very 3D. Like it's out of place, right? It just
like no,
looks gross.
not just that, but like what I meant is that so these are like 3D games. They're trying to use like actual anime characters into it, right? But the look that they had always looked kind of bland. Is what I meant.
Oh, I think I get what you mean. Because they're
Yeah,
3D, it was very difficult. It's very difficult to like kind of make them look good in
good,
a
like
way, right?
actual anime-ish looking game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I
and
can see.
so
I can.
like I just basically this entire particular first section is just for me to like gush on the how freaking good Grandblue Fantasy and like uh what do you call it,
Guilty Gear.
and yeah, and then Guilty Gear just looked like. Can you imagine if every game looks kind of like this?
True. I would like be more interested in playing
Yeah,
them.
like 3D video games, right?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's because I'm a 2D bias.
Yeah.
So for me, like if you notice, I don't really play like even for open worlds, I don't really play like oh wow, the storm is crazy right here. I see flashes by my windows.
There's
But
nothing on my place. It's not even raining.
dude, it's raining so bad. I'm just hoping it won't flood. But
Okay.
yeah, basically for me, I've never. If you notice, I don't actually ever play open world 3D games.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one would be Minecraft once again,
Oh
and
yeah.
Animal Crossing, arguably. But other than those two, I don't really play like 3D games. But if they make it look like Guilty Gear and Granblue in the future, I might consider.
Yeah, right. It's because it actually looks really freaking good.
Right, true. But I think, would you agree that I think the difficult part is to have the open world aspect of it? Because the one with Guilty Gear and Granblue, it's like side scroll, right? Technically.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's true.
that that's probably why it's kind of simple to make the lighting look the way they want it to be like that. But if it's
Mhm.
open world, it's gonna be a bit like you said. If it was so difficult for them to do Granblue and Guilty Gear, imagine them doing it in full like open world.
And
They
like
would have.
especially like top down third person type of game, right? Yeah.
Yes, that would have been suicidal for them probably at this point. But I mean,
Okay,
it's worth a try.
that's fair. All right, so that's the first one I want to gush about, and then the other 3D game that I kind of want to talk about is Octopath Traveller.
Listen, listen. Are you telling me that
Yes,
it is 3D?
these are all 3D assets. Yes.
What? I promised I wouldn't be screaming, but holy shit, Octopath Traveler is 3D.
It's 3D, and but I think they're using 2D sprites, which is still not an easy thing to do. If you think about it.
How the hell is it 3D? No. Okay, I was about to tell you. Like when I saw the game, I was like, I understand why it's 3D because I see the world. I see the background. Like it's very 3D like.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the sprites, like those are freaking 2D, man. It looks like to the moon. Like the
Yeah,
characters looks
yeah,
like to the
exactly.
moon.
It definitely feels and looks like a 2D game if you look at it, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
What the
so
heck?
this is all 3D. I'm not even kidding. Every little character that you see, especially during like the combat and like just the video of them walking through the map or something like that,
Yeah.
though they are all 3D.
What the heck? Wait. Are you sure it's 3D? Because when I searched it up, they said it was something to do about like it's HD 2D. So it's like it creates a false 3D effect.
No, it's kind of like the opposite. So what they did is, because the thing is that this game is
Yeah.
made on something called the Unreal Engine 4. So this like Unreal Engine is
Unreal Engine 4.
yeah, Unreal Engine. So Unreal Engine is basically like a gaming engine. So if you want to create a game, you usually use an engine, right?
Yes.
An engine basically is like a ready to go game development system. So like it already has its own physics, it has its own like lighting system and so on and so forth,
Yes.
and that's basically on the Unreal Engine. Now the thing is that the Unreal Engine is traditionally 3D.
Oh God. No.
Yes, and here's the thing. So like I mentioned that everything looks 3D. Everything here is 3D, and I'm not kidding about that. So what they did, if I understood, this correctly, yeah.
Yeah.
So what they basically did is that they made all the assets, so like the map, the ground, the characters, they're all 3D.
Mhm.
But then they basically covered the 3D models with pixels, with pixelated images.
How the hell do you do that? What the heck?
So basically, in traditional 2D drawings or stuff like that, they usually like draw the characters and then they add like artificial shadows at the bottom, right, or something like that. Meanwhile, in this
Mhm.
game, if you look at like the trailers, like just the actual gameplay and stuff like that, you'll notice that the fact that like the characters actually has moving shadows. Like based on the lighting of the engine. So that basically proves the fact that like these characters are actually 3D. Like not even the characters, the enemies as well.
Wait, but how does the shadow affect though? Like, what is it usually like if it's 2D? It's just, if I'm not wrong, it's just at the bottom, right? If it's 2D.
Yeah, if it's 2D, it's just at the bottom. But like the thing is that these shadows can actually move based on the lighting, similar to what I mentioned in the
Oh.
Guilty Gear and Grandblue Fantasy one. So, because like the fact that like they're moving based on the lighting that's provided to them, that's kind of shows almost like a 3D engine behavior.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So according to like the articles that I've read about it, right?
Hmm?
So like the towns, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was basically they modeled everything in 3D.
Okay.
They modeled the towns, they modeled the things in 3D, but then they basically wrap the model, the 3D model, with
Yes.
pixelated textures.
Okay, but so basically the pixelated textures are 2D, right? Is what you're
Yes,
saying?
they cover
Okay.
that in 2D, but because the way the model shapes, right? Because the model
Yes.
is still shaped in a 3D form,
Right, right.
but they have like 2D sprites covering the top essentially.
Does this apply to the avatar to the characters as well, or is
I
it only
think
the
so.
background?
I think so if I'm mistaken. Because let me double check. But it's built on sprite-based characters.
Really? But it's like it looks so 2D. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
The
Oh
only
my
flat of
God.
2D character sprites running over the top. Yep, but still they're 3D
So
apparently.
so you're telling me that they're all using 3D engine, but
Yeah.
somehow they managed to kind of like in terms of art style, they're able to make it look 2D. Is what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And because here's the thing, like in terms of Granblue and Guilty Gear, like we mentioned just now, I can see
Mhm.
the whole like 3D becoming 2D kind of aspect because it looks 2D in terms of the lighting, right?
Yes.
But you're telling me that essentially what they did with, like,
Because
I'm trying to wrap my mind around this freaking phenomenon.
the
So
thing is that in the Guilty Gear and Granblue Fantasy, right?
yes,
There's still 3D animation, and then they draw it normally like they would a 3D character.
yes,
But because of the way they animate the characters and the way they light and shaded the characters, it almost looks
yes,
2D, right?
right, right, right.
But with Octopath Traveller case is that they did similar things with Granblue or yeah, they did very similar things to Granblue and Guilty Gear, where they basically model everything in 3D.
Right.
But instead of trying to make 3D look like 2D, they basically just put 2D textures on top of things.
So basically the pixels, right?
Yeah, the pixels. They basically say, hey, look at this ground, this flat ground. We want to make it look like we want to add dirt and grass on top of it. Now, usually with a 3D game, you would usually draw actual like semi-realistic uh colors and looks like images, right?
Right.
But in this case, they were like, okay, we do that, and then we decided to pixelate those textures and make
Oh,
it look 16-bit and
okay.
64-bit. Yeah.
I see. So, okay, now I see why. So basically, yeah, essentially, like I said, like all these three games are the same in which they're actually 3D, but they've somehow managed to make it 2D.
Yeah.
But in terms of Guilty Gear, they made it more of like the art. I mean
The
the
technical side,
lighting.
essentially, the lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, with Octopath Traveler,
it's the
they just
pixels.
yeah, with just the pixel, but no, not technically just the pixel. Let's not undermine the fact that like they did things like the coloring, the shading of the map world as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in the pixel kind of like theory
Uh-huh.
color scheme or something like that, right?
Hmm.
That is what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
like, what makes it kind of different from Guilty Gear is that they made it more. The way they made it 2D was not based off like just the drawing 2D, but it was actually the pixels in it.
Yeah.
Whereas Guilty
Yes.
Gear was actually the drawing, right?
Yeah.
And the yeah.
Because technically, if Guilty Gear did like what traditional slash like what normal Japanese anime JRPGs would look, they would probably just look bland, you know, right? They would
Yeah,
probably
true,
just
true,
look
true.
let's see,
I
because
don't think they stand out. Like they would just look like normal any other fighting games, I feel.
yeah, exactly. Like for example, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm not sure if you know that game at all.
Probably not.
Yeah, you probably don't. Like if you look at that, those characters, they just look like 3D anime characters. If that makes any sense, right? They don't look 2D at all,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
right? They're completely 3D. Like they're basically anime characters put into a 3D platform.
No, definitely. Like I said, you can for this one you can see the depth. You can see the depth, as in like the depth of the width. You know, the
Yeah,
cube.
yeah, yeah.
You see the
The,
cube.
the cubes.
But in great
Meanwhile, with
in
Grandblue
Guilty
Fantasy and
Gear,
Guilty Gear,
mhm,
like it's kinda almost hidden.
yeah, but they use it with the lighting, which is 2D, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then for Octopath, it's what it's called. It's with the pixels and the shading and the lighting of the pixels as well.
Yes, essentially.
Wow. Okay, that one blew my mind. Say
Yeah,
Octopath.
when that's why when you're like when I show because the thing is when I sent you the list,
Yeah.
I was like completely thinking it's like how would you completely react when I just show you like images of the game or the videos of the game without telling you anything about it. Like I wouldn't tell you whether this is 3D or 2D or anything.
I mean, because here's the thing. Like when I try to research Octopath, I read some like websites, some sources. They said that it was actually like the concept was actually 2D because it's
Mm.
JRPG, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the 3D elements was more to the background, to the shading. So when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Because when I saw it, when I saw the pictures, I was like, yeah, it does look like it's actually 2D, as in 2D, as in like freaking like to the moon, 2D, like flat. But somehow they made it 3D because of the background and the shading.
I see.
But now when you tell me it's actually 3D, and now looking back, like looking back at Harvest Moon, or like looking back at To the Moon, actually, to be exact,
Mm-hmm.
it's I can see why Octopath is actually built on 3D.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think even the way they move, like not because like right now in my brain, I'm trying to imagine an Octopath character moving forward and a To the Moon character moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why it's different, even though they look the same. I can see the depth.
I can see the depth.
Yeah, I can definitely see the depth in Octopath. But in To the Moon, I can see why it's considered as 2D because it's very flat.
Okay.
I mean, you can see the flatness, like when they move.
Yay!
I don't know how to explain, but it's truly flat. Even the world is flat,
Mm-hmm.
But if it's Octopath, it's yeah, I can see why it's 3D. But God, that was a huge mind fuck, say, to be honest.
Oh man. Wait until you see the other games that I put down on that list.
Wait,
The rest of the games I gave you on that list.
okay. Before we go there, though, can I
Uh-huh.
say Do you know the game Catherine?
Catherine. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's the puzzle game where you're climbing up the towers and all that, right? You're talking about that
Yeah,
one?
as a sheep, right? As a
Yep,
sheep.
yep,
Yep,
yep.
yep, yep.
The sheep game, yes.
Like the scenes, not the game. Yeah, I know the game is 3D.
Mm-hmm.
But the cut scenes, would you consider that as 2D or 3D? Because I feel like, I don't know why, but to me, it looks and feels a bit like Guilty Gear. When I saw Guilty Gear, I thought of Catherine, actually.
Those are 2D, I think. They're completely 2D in that case.
In the cut scenes.
Yeah, in the cutscene, Catherine cutscenes. Those are all 2D.
But what about this? Because like I literally, like I don't know, because now I'm confused. The lines between 2D and 3D have become so blurry. I swear. What about this? I'm sending you a picture. Because to me, I can tell why you say it's 2D for the most
Oh
part. But
wait,
when I
sorry,
saw this,
this cutscenes you mean, not the other, not the one that's like the bottom. Okay, if we're talking about this cutscene in particular, those are 3D.
yeah, right, it's 3D, right?
Those are completely 3D. Yes.
But can we say that it can be a bit 2D in a way? Because for me, I feel like it has depth, but it doesn't have the 3D lookness of.
I mean, if you look at the fingers, those are like obviously 3D in my opinion. 'Cause, like, if
Yeah,
you look, yeah.
definitely. But
But
if
I
you see
understand
her
what you're trying
face,
to point out. Yeah, I understand what you mean though.
yeah, it's not like the 3D of like Sword Art Online 3D. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it basically like that similar to like guilty? I was gonna say guilty pleasure, guilty guilty gear.
I mean, it's still the early stages, but yeah, I would probably get what you would think like that. So yeah, Catherine is a
Okay,
pretty good example of that. Yeah.
okay.
In fact, it's
Makes
just
sense.
not. I don't think it's not just Catherine, but like if you look at Persona 5 in general,
Oh, I haven't seen that one. Wait.
yeah, you should look at Persona 5 because they're developed by the same people. And if you think um those that game particular looks a little bit like 2D ish,
Yeah.
you should look at some of the cutscenes in Persona 5 because they're developed by the same people.
Oh,
But the
okay.
thing
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that with Persona 5, they kind of went through the more artsy path where they put in a lot of like colors and like very very bold
Yeah, yeah,
art
yeah.
in it. Yeah,
They look more 2D, see, in terms of Persona 5.
yeah.
Somehow, I don't know why, but they just look more 2D. But in terms of
Uh,
Catherine, like, you can see the depth. I don't know how, but it's just more like, it's more cube than Persona 5. Yeah, okay, but still, I'm still shocked that Octopath is freaking 3D,
it's
man.
3D, yeah. I mean, it's just funny when you were like when you started shouting, and I was like, "What?"
No, cause to be honest, like I was gonna tell you, out of all the games that you showed, like that you told me to like kind of research briefly about,
Mm-hmm.
the only one that like caught my interest was Octopath Traveler. Other than Guilty
Uh,
Gear, which was second in lead, but Octopath Traveler was something was like I thought to myself like, oh my god, this is like a to the moon kind of thing. Turns out it's not.
it's not. No, it's
But it's a good concept. I mean, at least in a way, like I know it's 3D, but I'm not kind of like viscerally what is it called? What did you say? At has not had. What would you say?
what?
In the beginning, you said something like I was against it.
Oh yeah, you have
What,
some
what,
like basically some
what is it called?
apprehensions
Yes.
apprehensions to 3D games. Yeah.
So it's like I can still play the game without feeling. I don't want to say disgusted, but like that's the feeling of feeling like off
Uh-huh.
put. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. So the first few games I showed you were like actual 3D games, right?
3D and
Now
2D world. Yep.
the 3D looking 2D. Now these particular next few games I'm gonna that I showed you on my second list,
Yeah.
which is Hollow Knight, Rainworld, and Outland.
Outland. Do not. Well, oh shit! I didn't check Rainworld. Oh no, I only saw Ori and the Blind Forest.
No, you should be fine because the thing is I mentioned Ori and the Blind Forest and Hollow Knight and stuff like that. But Rainworld
Oh,
is,
okay.
yeah, but in the case with like Rainworld, it's not that big of a deal if you don't see it because it's obviously 2D if you look at it.
2D. It's 2D, right? It's
Yeah, but
2D.
it's probably like in fact the majority all these games, the one I just sent you with like Outland,
Oh,
Rainworld, Hollow Knight, Ori and the Blind Forest, these are all 2D games.
wait. So you're telling me
Yeah.
this is what I was fearing after we finished talking about the 3D and the 2D world. You're telling me that this section of games
Yeah.
are 2Ds,
Are all 2D from what I remember. Yes.
even Ori and the Blind.
Even Ori and the Blind Forest. From what I know, that's 2D game.
Are you sure it's not 3D? My God.
I have to double check, but I'm pretty because the thing is that I thought to that as well. Let me see, Ori and the Blind Forest.
I think it's 2D, right? Because like I don't know. I
Ori
think
and
it's
the Blind.
3D.
According to like Wikipedia and again according to Wikipedia, Ori and the Blind Forest is a 2D platform game.
Yeah, okay. In terms of platform, I get 2D, but
Uh-huh.
the characters are 3D, right? 3D model.
Ori is a 3D model, yes, rendered out orthographic projection, but still animated as a 2D hybrid. So technically, sure, they're like they're what do you call it? The platforming is 2D, but a lot of the aspects of the game are also 2D, except for the characters, I'm guessing.
So are you telling me the worlds are 3D or 2D?
I think the world is also 2D/3D. They're like hybrid. This is like the weird one. This is the one that I wasn't sure. Because out of the 3 games, when I look for like 2D games and stuff like that,
Yep.
because there's a lot of the list in the 2D games, but these are the ones I personally cherry picked. Because I thought they will be interesting to show or talk about. Like for example, Ori and the Blind Forest. I personally when I first saw this, it was a 3D game, but now I'm not so sure.
Okay, I think like the other section of the games of being 3D world becoming 2D, looking like it's 2D.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is 2D, but I like as in the model. I think well, not the model, but what is it called? The engine or the system is 2D, but the model is 3D.
It's 2D. Okay.
I think, yeah, I would
So,
say.
but you're not sure, right? You keep looking at the gameplay, the videos, and like the what do you call it? Like the animation is like you keep not sure. Because I always look at this game now, like even during playtime, I'm not sure. Because I played this game a bit, and I'm still not sure.
Because the way it moves, it looks very fluid, like it's 3D, you know?
Yeah, but some aspects of the game, like, because the thing is you can put like 3D lighting on a 2D object, right?
You can, yes, you can.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's why I wasn't sure with Ori and the Blind Forest, and this is the one, and this is why I brought it up.
I think this is what they did. I think what they did with the whole like Guilty Gear aspect, they did it reversely with Ori and the Blind Forest. Yeah, because it's like so the lighting or like the shading, the depth. So basically, like I'm saying, like the depth, and there's 2 types. There's the cuboid like with depth, and then there's the shading art depth, right?
Yes.
So with Ori and the Blind, there's no cuboid depth because it's 2D, except maybe for the models, like Ori itself. But in terms of the shading, it's definitely 3D, I would think.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But you're not sure, but like, it's just one of those games that like I found just very pretty. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think it's kind of revolutionary because it's side-scrolling. Like, if I'm not wrong, most of the side-scrolling games I know are actually 2D. As in, like, it looks 2D, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I brought up those games in particular, so Ori and the Blind Forest, for example, and Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
So, for example, so in Ori and the Blind Forest, there's like some 3D aspects into it, that's for sure.
Yes.
Now, Hollow Knight, on the other hand, is completely all 2D.
Wait.
Yeah. Wait. What? There's some waiting for this one? Are you sure?
Yes, because in my notes I wrote Hollow Knight follows the concept of Octopath. I would say 2D, but the BG is 3D. Now I'm confused because you just destroyed.
I'm pretty sure
my concept.
Because the thing is that I'm pretty sure this entire game is
2D.
hand drawn.
Even like the engine is 2D.
Yeah, the engine from Rhino is 2D.
Oh god, you're right. It looks 3D because of the mild shading that looks.
Yeah,
that
the mild shading and also the basically depth of field from the background, right?
Yeah. Oh my god. Dear God, I've been bamboozled. Octopath, I swear, that's crazy. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So Octopath and like Hollow Knights and Ori and the Blind Forest, these are the particular games I picked simply because of how pretty they look, like animation wise and and to be honest, I just wanted to bring up like because the thing is that you had some apprehension with 3D, so like I always thought to myself, what if I can find 3D games that either look just as good or gives off that same flat 2D feeling, or and at the same time bring up like very good looking competent 2D games essentially. So things like Hollow Knight, things like what do you call it, like Ori in the Blind Forest, and also Rainworld and Outland, sorry, like Outland as well, right?
Okay, Outland to me feels like a predecessor of Dead Cells actually.
Yeah, a little bit, because the way that because oh yeah, speaking of like those type of games, Dead Cells as well. Dead Cells like it's also like those weird 2D. It's a weird 2D game if you think about it, like the way it's animated.
Why? Wait, no. Dead Cells is 2D, right? Right?
Yeah,
You
Dead Cells.
cannot.
I think,
Okay.
let me see. Does Dead Cells have
I'm pretty sure it's 2D, because I swear if it's not.
2D assets? Oh,
Do not destroy my hopes and dreams.
Dead Cells is a 2D game, 2D animated game, but
Okay.
they export each frame on a 3D skeleton.
I don't know what that means.
I
have
that
no
means,
idea.
What that means is basically here, let me copy this. I'm not sure what it'll translate perfectly into Discord or not. So do you see that picture?
Oh wait, it's loading.
So you see
I think
that?
I know which video. Yeah, I saw that one. I just saw that one.
So
yes.
that's a 3D image. That's a 3D skeleton, right?
Yes.
And they basically put 2D animations and like pixels on top of that, essentially. So kind of like what they did with Octopath.
Wait, but here's the thing. You said it's 2D animation, right?
Yes.
So it would still be 2D, right?
So the thing is that everything. So the game, I think, from what I know, yeah, the entire game is 2D.
But you're telling me that the movements is 3D.
Yeah, like basically what they did was that they took things in, like a 3D. What call it? They took things in 3D and basically export everything they did in 3D into 2D. If that makes any sense.
Okay. I thought it was more of like they did everything in 2D and then they rendered in 3D.
No. They rendered all this in 2D, but basically like each frame of animation in 3D is basically exported into 2D. So again, I'm not sure whether.
So you're telling me it's like Octopath, basically.
A little bit like Octopath. For example, this like the attack animation, right? They basically did it in 3D and then they export everything in 2D. So they draw and animated everything in 2D, but yeah.
This is like a lie. I'm living a lie. Wait, okay. Here's the thing. Harvest Moon, the one in Game Boy Advance. I remember it was a bit 3D. Is it 3D or 2D?
Which Harvest Moon are we talking about? The Friends of Mineral?
Yeah, the Friends of Mineral Game Boy Advance. Because I remember it's not that flat as like Stardew Valley.
I'm pretty sure that's 2D. That's completely 2D.
But
if you're talking about the Game Boy Advance one, I'm pretty sure that's 2D. Because the Game Boy Advance cannot handle 3D games, I think.
But why does it look 3D? What the heck?
If you're talking about Friends of Mineral Town, it's completely 3D. I'm pretty sure.
But okay, but if you see his face, it looks like a cylinder.
Yeah, but it's 2D. They just pixelated it very well, and not to mention it was like in a small aspect ratio. Yeah.
Holy shit! Maybe that's why I was okay with the whole roundness. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's it. You know, like something about 3D just freaks me out. God. I don't know why.
I'm so glad I started this topic.
No, but dude, I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why 3D just freaks me out. Something about the depth just freaks me out. My God, I can't.
What about game like Cuphead? You know Cuphead?
Cuphead. I think I saw it. I think I'm
pretty sure that's all 2D as well. Unless I'm
wrong. Cuphead is still okay to me.
Uh-huh.
It's not something that I would per se get, because it looks interesting, but it doesn't. I don't have that visceral reaction to it as I
Ah, okay.
have with for example,
Yeah,
what
what
was
would
that?
give you a visceral reaction? What type of games are we talking
Oh, let's see. What is it? For example, I guess, okay, I hate to say this, but like for example, Link.
about? Link in Breath of the Wild?
The old Link, I think. Was it?
Which Link? Because there's a lot of Zelda games and stuff like that.
There was like the Zelda where like they were very cuboid. That freaked me out.
Which one are we talking about? Are we talking about
Let's see. Let me check.
uh, Legend of Zelda?
I think the very first one there.
Very first one.
I mean, oh God, I don't remember. I remember seeing it before, but I don't know.
And like when you saw it, you're just like, ugh.
No, that was when I was like, okay, it's a bit weird
Like
looking. What
Majora's
was it?
Mask,
Yeah.
maybe? Majora's Mask?
Oh,
Is
could
that?
it be? Wait, let me check.
Because I know Majora's Mask was personally for me was kind of the weird one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That
This
that
one?
that was, yeah, that was a bit. It was too clunky for me. It freaked me out. Um, what was it? I think there was another game that also freaked me out. Okay, like Team Fortress. I know it was smooth, and I know it was like it was.
That
I
freaked
played
you
with
out as
it.
well?
Didn't really freak me out, but like looking at it, like when I played it, I didn't really enjoy.
Ah, okay. That's
I
interesting.
think Yeah, I think for me the comfort is that if I look at it and in my mind, in my subconscious mind, it looks like a 2D, it doesn't freak me out.
Okay.
But here's the thing, with Team Fortress,
Uh-huh.
they look they look pretty cartoonish. So it looks a bit 2D to me somehow.
I think it's mostly because of the cell shading, if I have to guess.
That's what made it enjoyable. Yeah, probably. Um, you know Tales of Symphonia? Like the
Oh, the
Tales
Tales
franchise?
series, yeah, yeah. Like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Berserk,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. That one,
Did that freak you
eh,
out?
a little bit. I mean, like because it's anime, I thought to myself like it's still manageable. I mean, I played the one for Dawn of the New World.
Oh.
Um, I think it's okay, but this is basically what you mean by 3D and open world, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
quite
I was
funky looking.
particularly talking about like just not open world, but just like 3D anime character models, or just like
Yeah, yeah. It's basically like these kinds. Oh. IMVU. Oh God.
IMVU.
Yeah, IMVU. It used to be like a chat room. That shit freaked me out.
Wait, what's this? Oh, I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this freaked you out because this is like really ugly models.
But like 3D in itself, it's like it's
Ah, I see.
I don't know, like it gives me the really weird Harvest Moon as well, the one in DS. It's
The
it it
3D ones like the
Yeah.
Sunshine Island or the Grand Bazaar.
Let me check. Was it
Sorry.
the one that you guys were talking about?
Sunshine Island. Try that one. 'Cause I remember.
Yeah, dude. What was it called? Sunshine Island?
Yeah, Sunshine Island. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
because I think this is the first 3D Harvest Moon game. I think I found.
I saw one. It was called The Tale of Two Towns,
Uh huh. And you didn't like that
and
either.
and I had something crawl up my back. Like the reaction is real. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it just freaks me out.
That's hilarious. Why? I wonder why. I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
not pretty. I'll be the first to say that the 3D model is not pretty, but that's mostly because of the limitation of the engine. If I had to guess, like the
Right,
engine
right,
is
right.
not really strong, but still, for you to have that kind of reaction, that's hilarious.
No, no.
And that's
Even
and that's mentioning the fact that like they're chibi fight as well. They're like a little chibi characters, right? Even
yeah.
with even with the fact that like they're cheapy, you still cannot stand the 3D aspect.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I really think it's because of the depth. I really think if I see a cube It just freaks me out.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And I think and I think the reason why I was okay with Minecraft was because even though it was 3D and cube, like literally it's the cube, it was pixelated. So it kind of like
It kind of what do you call it, canceled out the 3D aspect.
yeah,
Of
it kind of cushioned
the blow.
the vomiting aspect of it. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Truly, I don't get why, but it just freaks me out. I don't know. I think I have a problem. I think I have a
think we have
problem,
a
dude.
problem.
Because here's the thing, at the top of my mind, yeah, the games
Uh-huh.
that I know that I really love playing, for example, would be like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, Habbo Hotel.
A hotel, yeah,
There was this one RPG online game called Wonderland Online as well that was 2D.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Maple Story, a side-scrolling 2D platform, like really 2D, you know, they just go left and right. There's no way they would ever like turn another kind of dimension. I think that's what made it like to
Enjoyable for
me
you.
comfortable. Yeah, and that's why like that's why to me like I don't know why Animal Crossing was something of
It was a
like
rare, like a rarity.
yeah, anomaly, right? Because it's like quite 3D, right?
Yeah, it is.
But I think because it looks a bit pixelated in a way. I mean, in the DS at least it was pixelated, so I was like, oh, it was manageable. Oh, but the one on Wii though, Animal Crossing Wii scared the fuck out of me.
Wait, but there's no difference. Wait,
There's no
that's
what?
it. There's no difference, right? Technically, don't they?
I don't.
Don't they look the same?
I'm not sure. I don't know why, but when I saw people playing the Wii one, it freaked me out. I don't know what it is. Just
Oh
fucking
my
weird.
god, it's hilarious.
Oh god, I don't know.
Is it because the
Oh my
eyes?
god.
Wonder. Is it because the
That's why.
eyes?
I don't know. And that's because it's very zoomed in if you play in the Wii.
Maybe.
No, no,
I don't
no.
know, but
The
this is
Wii
so
was
funny.
definitely no, dude. The Wii was definitely 3D. Like the towns looked very 3D. At least with the DS, like the leaves were still 2D.
Oh yeah, they were flat.
Yeah, but if you look at Wii, it was like completely 3D. Oh my god, I'm having
Yeah.
goosebumps. Ah! I really don't like 3D stuff, God. I hate it because
Weird.
it's like no, like I get that times are changing. 3D has become the
The
new normal,
times
you
that
know.
are changing.
But my body just cannot. Like I'm actually literally reacting to it.
It's so weird. The weird bit for me is the fact that like, why do you even have this reaction to begin with?
I don't
Because
know,
like,
but like,
okay, so
mm,
I understand like the concept or the idea of what Uncanny Valley, right?
Uncanny Valley. What is that?
Yeah. So the idea of Uncanny Valley is that if you try to make something more human, right? Let's say a rock,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Let's say a piece of rock. A rock is like nothing,
Yes.
but if you put like two googly eyes on top of it, it looks endearing. It's hilarious,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but
Yeah.
then you add a mouth to it and you add a nose to that rock, and then it start looking weird, right?
Oh yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah. So the idea of the uncanny valley is that if you try to make something look human, it'll feel endearing. But the closer it is to for it to look like a human, the more weird and the more terrifying it looks. Like uncanny, essentially. It looks
I,
more
I think
uncanny the more human it looks.
I think that's the case. I have a feeling that that's probably the case, dude.
So
Cause
like
like
you're basically like what do you call it? Let me try to find this because there's like a graph for it. Uncanny
like you know Amnesia. Oh God.
Amnesia the game, like the horror game.
Yes. Like I can't. Not only because it's horror, but like the way the people are. Oh my. There was another one, like a horror game that was interactive and had a lot of like ending shows, ending timelines. I forgot what it's called. About the butterfly or something. Butterfly Effect, was it?
I'm not like, what the
Until Dawn, was it?
oh Until Dawn, yeah.
That shit was not okay for me. That shit scared the shit out of me. Not because of the horror, but because of their faces.
Just because of their faces, just because the animations. It's weird.
Yes, yes. It was just not something I was comfortable looking at.
What about a game called because it's called Control.
Control?
Try to find it.
What
Control.
what game is it?
It's a 3D shooting third-person game. Try to look it up.
Oh. I mean, it's okay, but I don't think I
That
would
one is
play
okay.
it. I mean,
That one is okay.
I don't have a visceral reaction, but I wouldn't play it.
Okay, but it's weird. What part of it that made you like? Or
You know
not?
the The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't play that either. I mean, it doesn't give me a visceral reaction, and it's actually pretty good in terms. I mean, compared to Until Dawn, yeah, the faces actually looked. I don't know why, but it looked better than Until Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't play it either.
Huh. So okay,
I think because it's too.
I sent you a graph. I sent you a graph.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So that's the Uncanny Valley.
Okay.
So you notice that, like, let's say toy robots, right? They're adorable. They look cute. We
Yeah.
like them, right?
Yes.
So we and then up to that tip point, you'll feel like, oh, it's still endearing. But then you add something to it. That's why there's like the Uncanny Valley bit. And you add something to it, and then all of a sudden, you as a person, you react very visceral to that thing.
I definitely relate to the prosthetic hand things.
See, so your prosthetic hand is like at the bottom of that, like actual negative affinity.
Oh, yes, but I think for me, because prosthetic hands are actually real, like it's tangible, it's not as creepy to me. It's not creepy, but it's not as like uncanny to me. It's when I see it in a screen
Mm-hmm.
that would maybe freak me out. What's the other one? What's the Bakuko puppet or something?
Oh, Bunraku. Bunraku puppet.
Bunraku. Yeah.
Bunraku puppet is basically like those very traditional Japanese puppet. Not sure if you've seen them.
Oh shit.
They can be a little creepy, but some of them have like creepy aspect to it. But yeah.
Oh
Have you
my
seen
god.
it? Did you Google it?
Yeah. They're creepy, but they're not like they're creepy because of the
Like they're actually designed to be creepy, right? But,
yeah, not because they're 3D, see,
yeah, but like when it comes to the Uncanny Valley, they're just still a little bit below, right?
Yeah. I think to me, like even Sims, like kind of creep me out a little bit as well.
It's so weird. My guess is what's happening is that you see the Uncanny Valley, right?
Yeah.
Graph, so it's very narrow. But with yours, what I'm guessing is that it's wider.
You mean like mine is like if it's a bit from the top at the toy robot part, it's really low.
Yeah, it's like it's already a little bit not good for you essentially. So your
It
valley,
just plummets.
yeah, your valley is like already plummets even after the toy robot.
Probably in terms of like a visual aesthetic when I look at something, yeah, not when I touch it, but yes, when I look at something, probably.
It's so weird.
But the thing is, like Animal Crossing or Sims, I'd still play it. Even Sims, I would still play Sims.
Yeah, that's the thing. You said you told me about all these like the games that made you feel like visceral. So like Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, and then you mentioned what was it again? What was the other, like a little bit of Team Fortress, for example, a little bit.
Yeah.
Of Team Fortress. That's
That
the
was
thing.
still okay.
I'm not sure what bit of those games that will make you feel uncomfortable. My guess is flat colors, maybe.
What makes it comfortable, is it?
Or uncomfortable. What about Borderlands? You know that game?
Wait, let me.
Borderlands or Borderlands 2?
Oh no, I think I know this one. Is it like the steampunk kind of game?
Is that like? Are you okay with that? Are you fine with that?
Wait, let me see. It doesn't give me that reaction, but I wouldn't play it.
So weird.
I wouldn't like when I first see it, I'd be like, okay, but I won't play it. Like it really, like I said, 40%, 50% drop of interest.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, I'm more curious about your like reaction bit. Like, what bit of a game, like a 3D animation game, would make you go, "Ugh," like, "Ugh."
I don't know. You just have to like. I guess we should make one episode where it's like you just show me pictures,
Maybe.
and then you'll see my visceral reaction just being. Eh. Not because it's bad. It's just I can't.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah. I understand. I
physically
understand.
cannot accept it. You know.
It's weird, funny.
Like you know deep what is it called? There was a game that I wanted to play. Deep sea, is it? Oh god. No. It was the one that I wanted to play with you a long time ago. Deep submarine or something?
Oh, I think
Deep
like
sea hunter, was it?
like we need to go deeper or something.
Yeah, we need to go deeper, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Need to
I think
go
so.
deeper. Yeah, that shit was like that when I saw that I was 40% more interested.
Oh, yeah, because it's completely 2D, right?
Yeah, cuz it's flat. Oh god, there's something wrong with me, I swear. Cuz like when I see people when I see people playing like games, even GTA, like ugh.
GTA
No,
makes you
as
react.
in it doesn't make me react, but it's just like I would rather not play it. You know, like I won't I won't I won't die not playing it. I won't die not playing it. But if it's like Stardew Valley, I need it. You know.
That's fascinating. That's truly. Oh, what about I know, My Tales from Portia. Do you know that game?
Oh God, I think I know.
My Tale from Portia.
And no,
No.
nope.
Does this one give you a reaction?
No, it didn't. But when David told me about it, I saw it right, and I was like, nope, I'm not buying it. And he told me it was like Stardew Valley, it was like Harvest
Yeah,
Moon,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like,
Because the thing is that this game is quite a bit like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon and stuff like that.
but I was like, no,
That's so
I
weird.
can't, dude. It's so weird. I don't know. Okay, it's just I would rather not. I would rather not.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's the only thing I really want to talk about mostly. Because like I want to start this out. Like the only reason why I brought up those games, like the one that I mentioned,
Yep.
was mostly because I wanted to see your reaction to it.
Mhm.
Because I know, like I
Mhm.
said, like you have some apprehension with 3D games. That's why I
Yep.
started out with like Grandblue Fantasy and Guilty Gear and
Yep.
Octopath because I really want to see, like, is it just the 3D aspects that made you feel like no, or is it because you saw the pixels and you saw uh, the
Uh-huh.
art style is the one where you just go, like you really don't
No,
want.
I think it's a general consensus that it's the 3D, isn't it?
Yeah, from the looks of it. But the thing is that you did mention that you found Octopath interesting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but like Octopath is like fully 3D, and you're like fine with that.
No. But visually, it looked 2D, as in it was pixelated.
So we can trick you essentially. We can trick your brain.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Like it is possible to actually trick me to like 3D
3D game.
games, but if visually it looks automatically like a 2D game,
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
which I'm
But
hoping will be the case in the future, or else I
in
won't be
the
playing any
future,
games.
you won't be able to play any 3D game.
Yeah, because like if everything turns 3D with no 2D elements to it, I'm like, fuck it, I can't.
What about what was it? The one that we talked about the last time, the story season, the Doraemon.
Yeah. Uh,
I bet you said what you probably say no, right? I'm guessing.
nope, nope, no.
Okay, so from the looks of it, it has to be 3D, and it also has to have like flat colors, like flat cell shaded colors.
Probably.
That's two factors I've kind of discovered so far. I'll
That's
have
why I
to
say
figure this out. I'm gonna write notes. I'm gonna make notes.
this is like your
I'm gonna like
hypothesis.
yeah, these are like my hypothesis. This is an interesting like just fact. like just very interesting information to learn about. So.
And that's why I said like probably the anomaly of all this is probably Sims and the Tales franchise. And
So you were fine with the Shannon, with the Tales franchise. Yeah, like you're okay with it compared to like let's say other 3D games.
I mean, I would play it, but like
okay, so
I wouldn't.
Shannon's apprehension.
Oh my god, I cannot. I don't know why. It's so weird.
To 3D games. So it has to be 3D. It has to examples would be Doraemon, so seasons.
Yeah, that one.
Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. Also, Until Dawn give you like a weird like reaction.
That gave me that one. I would say the clearest one is that one. I would say that one was the one where I was like, I don't want to.
What about their other game? Because they have another game called
What is it?
It's until the ones who made Until Dawn. What is it? Man from Medan.
Shit, I think I know that one too. Wait.
Man of Medan.
From...
The Dark Pictures of the Dark Pictures anthology. Jesus Man of Christ. Medan.
Wait, I saw a picture of a woman smiling creepily.
Yes, because it's a horror game.
I'm more afraid of the horror. See.
Okay, so not really of the 3D look.
No, but if I were to play it, nope. Is it like if I saw the trailer, would I want to buy it? No.
No. Oh, okay.
It's a hard pass. That's why it's very rare for me to actually like games that I like because nowadays it's all 3D, right?
Yeah, a lot of games are. I mean, for indie games, it's mostly like still 2D, but like a lot of games nowadays are 3D. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think that ties in with my topic for today. And do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it. Because all I wanted to do was just present for this time around.
And then find out why.
And then find out why you didn't like 3D.
Okay, so then we'll just stick to key takeaways. What are your key takeaways for today?
So key takeaways is Disney freaking owns everything.
Scarily.
Yeah, scarily, terrifyingly, and the fact that like you cannot believe Pixar forever.
They cannot what?
You cannot have blind faith with Pixar. Essentially, is what I meant. Because like I thought Pixar was like when you told me that The Good Dinosaur was made by Pixar, I was like, no.
Oh, okay, yeah. As in Pixar is not perfect.
Yeah, Pixar is not perfect.
Yes,
when I heard you said, it's like no, cannot be.
Okay.
It ain't true.
So what's your third takeaway on your
third
segment?
Probably regarding your freaking 3D apprehension. Still don't understand why.
Okay. For me, it's when you see like a Disney or Pixar trailer, try to figure out whether it's Disney or Pixar. I think that would be interesting to see, like whether your favorite movies tend to lean to Pixar movies or Disney movies. And then I guess second would be there is a possibility that 3D model games may become 2D looking in the near future, and they could play with it in the future. The evolution of 3D, 2D platform game looking game physical attributes could be a whole different thing in 10 years' time.
Yeah, definitely.
Which may allow me to actually enjoy playing 3D games.
I mean, I don't think so, because like, because the thing is that I'm pretty sure a lot of games in the future are gonna be 3D no matter what. Like, they're not even gonna try doing 2D games.
Yeah, which is so sad. So sad.
Yeah, but like, I mean, but still, there's that hope with Octopath Traveller and with what about with the Guilty Gear and so on and so forth. There's hope.
Yeah, as in like I'm pretty sure they are able to kind of make it what is it called, consumable for people like me who just
For people like you.
can get almost like a bit of like a rash kind of reaction to looking at 3D games.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so
Yep.
much for listening to Retropical. Uh, we hope you spend your holidays with everyone you love, but keep safe. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.